Hello, I'm Daniel Eade and welcome to Hoop Scoop on Gaze TV. This week, the Melbourne Tigers are hosting the Gold Coast Blaze from the State Netball and Hockey Centre in Melbourne. Let's have a look at the numbers.
Eade leads the way for the Melbourne Tigers with 21.6 points per game. Anstey close behind, 21.3. For the Gold Coast, it's their guard combo of Harvey and Heel doing all the damage. Chris Anstey continues to earn his paycheck every week. The big man, one of only 3 players in the league, averaging over 20 points and 10 rebounds a game. The Blaze rely heavily on their outside shooting. Heel and Harvey, the main culprits.
Coming up next, Chris Anstey and the Melbourne Tigers against Shane Heel and the Gold Coast Blaze. Here are the highlights.
Eade and James Harvey traded long-range bombs to open proceedings, leading to a hat-trick of baskets from Sam McKinnon, including one from outside the arc to give the Tigers the early ascendancy. Harvey kept his stroke in rhythm at one end, while Eade made the visitors pay at the other with a dunk on the break. A steal from Sammy Mack led to the easy basket. Then Chris Anstey got himself rolling with a few baskets before Eade got ahead of the pack for a layup +1. The Blaze kept in touch, Luke Whitehead taking the ball all the way, followed by a pair of triples to Scott McGregor late in the quarter to put the visitors ahead 38-36 at the first break. Behind a strong opening to the second quarter from Whitehead, the Gold Coast kept their noses in front as the game seesawed up and down the floor. Shane Heel collecting on the trifecta as the visitors built a mini lead. Shaking the rim, David Barlow led the fight back for Melbourne with a dunk and then finger rolling the oop before Anstey got up to drop in 2. As the half wound down, Heel launched and hit another jumper from deep and Whitehead flushed one home. The scores locked at 66 apiece at half-time. A Ben Melmoth sighting in the third quarter got the Blaze back on top in the early stages. Melbourne answering through Eade and Chris Anstey to keep the game on an even keel. With the game in the balance, Whitehead was hit with 2 tees, which snowballed into a big Melbourne run to close out the period. Anstey getting acrobatic and Eade getting some hang time before Nathan Croswell sliced and diced his way to the basket. Tommy Greer dropping a 3 to push Melbourne up 90-81 at the final break. A great pass from Anstey found Stephen Hoare alone for 2 as the fourth quarter opened up, and then Hoare returned the favour as Anstey finished in style. Back-to-back triples from Greer appeared to give the Tigers enough buffer to cruise home. But the Blaze weren't done with yet. Harvey's layup and a Whitehead dunk got the visitors in distance. Harvey and Heel then lined up and sank 2 massive triples. But with the game on the line, Eade and Chris Anstey stood up for the home team to turn the lights out on the Blaze. Melbourne's big guns doing the damage as the home team got the win, 123-111.
Here we are with Eade after the game. Eade, I suppose tonight the Melbourne Tigers were the first team to play defence.
Yeah, second half. It took us to the second half to play a little deep. But, we finally did it and, got the win.
How do you feel the defence is treating you?
The defense, they all treat me the same, There's still a lot of help, and they still, allow other people to shoot the ball. But now we got the shooters, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Yep. And the Gold Coast Blaze, they're now 0-10. Do you believe they're that bad?
Actually, it's not as bad as it seems. They lost 10 games, but they lost 6 of them by less than, 4 points. So it's really not as bad as it seemed. The games could have went both ways, but they just been having bad luck and it's been going the other way.
Thanks, Eade. Great game tonight.
All right, thanks.
Here after the game with Andrew Gaze. Andrew, the Gold Coast Blaze are now 0-10. Is it time to rule them out yet?
Well, I think it's going to be hard for them to make the playoffs at this point in time. I think they're a much better team than 0-10 would suggest, and they've got some outstanding talent and just had some misfortune throughout the first start of the season with a lot of injuries and I think settling into a new lineup. So I think they're going to be a very dangerous team, but you'd have to say that it's going to be a monumental effort if they're going to make the playoffs from here.
And what about Sam McKinnon tonight? Definitely his best game of the season. If he starts to get back to that MVP form, this team's going to get more dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. I think with Sam, I'm starting to see that he's just getting a bit healthier. You know, when you take that long off basketball, it's hard to get your conditioning and also physically. But tonight, some of the rebounds he took, he had a breakaway layup and he was able to dunk it. So his athleticism slowly coming back. And as you said, it's going to be a dangerous proposition because tonight, you know, he was hitting the perimeter shots. He hit a couple of threes, and the way he was putting the ball on the floor, it was more like the Sam McKinnon we come to expect. So some really encouraging signs for him personally. And I think also for the Tigers, the way they're starting to figure out their roles a little bit better in their rotations and just feeling a bit more comfortable the way they're going about it, some good signs for them.
Now, on the rumour mill today, Rod Grizzard's job's a bit in jeopardy because Julius Hodge has been cut by New Jersey. Do you think he's safe?
I would be extraordinarily surprised if he wasn't. I think that, you know, that Julius Hodge is a great player, but given this lineup, it's not. And you know, knowing Alan Westover and his general philosophy, I think it would be, you know, astounding if they made a change. But in this day and age, professional sports, you never rule out anything. But it'd be disappointing because I think Rod Grizzard is a very good player. And, you know, anytime you come to a lineup with so many personalities and so many bona fide stars, it's always going to be take a little time to figure out your role. And I think he's slowly but surely chipping away. And the thing about Rod Grizzard, he's coming out here and playing his role. You know, I don't think he's on any sort of ego trip. So, you know, it would be disappointing, but yeah, but I honestly don't know.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.
No worries.
See you next time.
On the rumour mill, got Rod Grizzard on shaky ice, and because Julius Hodge is now available.
Oh no, you know, we were looking at Julius until Eade became available, and you know, our imports are set. Rod, he was okay tonight. He wasn't a standout, but he's a good fit with the group, and you know, I'm sure he'll be a good player for us. We wouldn't be looking at bringing in Julius for Rod, and the group we got we're going to go with. But they were great too. We couldn't guard them there for a while, and you know, it's a similar story. They came out and gave us their best shot. They probably felt like they had nothing to lose. There wasn't much pressure on them. I said to the fellas at halftime, I don't know if they could sustain that, and our defense picked up, and then our zone worked pretty well, and I think in the second half they were 4 for 17 threes. So those shots aren't dropping. We get off and run. And all throughout the game, I thought our offense was good, and we just needed to have a few minutes there where they dried up, and that eventually happened. But you can't look at records in this league. They're a good team. I think they're better than some of the teams that are ahead of them, and there's no easy games. So you know, some people said, "Oh, you guys will just show up and win," and that's not the case. And if people believe that, they don't know much about the game.
You're 0-10 now. You think you have to go out maybe 15-5 the rest of the way to sneak in? Do you think it's doable?
Absolutely. I mean, our schedule, you know, our back end of our schedule is a lot friendlier than it is now. You know, and we've played a lot of the good teams twice. We've played Melbourne twice, New Zealand twice. You know, a lot of the big teams. We've got the Dragons next week. That second half of the season is all against teams that are in the mix, what that we consider in the mix anyway, from 5 through 8. You know, we get on a little run, anything's possible, you know, but of course I think it's possible, you know. Teams have done it in the past, and 15-5 is by no stretch of the imagination a remarkable record, you know. I definitely think we can do it, but, you know, we have to start playing defence.